This week in Jamaica Now, reviewing Riverton, Jennifer Edwards goes as the city dump burns. An environmental group is considering suing the government, and the mix-up at ODPEM's office on when the fire would be out. Barack Obama to visit Jamaica on April 9, caught on tape, cop charged with murder after video-recorded shooting of Lawrence Tavern man, another charged for lying to the authorities. The details of these and other stories coming up after the break.
Enter the Gleaner's LED TV promotion for a chance to win one of 13 LED TVs from now until December. Get your copy of the Gleaner, complete the entry form, and mail to the Gleaner's LED TV promotion, care of the Gleaner Company, 7 North Street. Check the Gleaner for more details. The Gleaner, where life unfolds. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
I'm Caroline Brown, and this is Jamaica Now. The board of the National Solid Waste Management Authority last week revealed that it had no plans to keep Jennifer Edwards as executive director for the Solid Waste Disposal Agency. Edwards was last week informed that her contract, which expired last month, would not be renewed. It coincided with public pressure for heads to roll over a fire at the Riverton City Dump, which has been burning since Wednesday, March 11. But there was division between the NSWMA board and the political directorate over whether Edwards should go. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller last week questioned why Edwards should be fired when she was not the one who lit the dump.
I'm sure she wouldn't set the fire. If she had set the fire, she would be gone. But I'm sure because she wasn't there, she was nowhere near there until when they heard that the place was on fire. So I don't know why anyone would be calling for her head to roll.
And there was conflicting information from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, about when the fire at the Riverton City Dump would be extinguished. At a press conference on Monday, Commissioner of the Jamaica Fire Brigade, Errol Mowat, said the fire could be extinguished by Saturday, March 21. Days later, ODPEM's Director General, Major Clive Davis, declared all was on track to have the blaze extinguished by that deadline.
The smoke that is present in the city right now is as a result of ongoing suppression operations. You see, as the fire is extinguished with water and then smothered with soil, smoke will be produced. The operation, however, is on track to have full extinguishing by the weekend.
However, speaking on Independent Talk on Power 106 FM last week, Senior Director at ODPEM, Horace Glaze, insisted that the fire will continue to burn beyond this weekend. More businesses and schools had to suspend operations last week because of the effect of the smoke from the dump. More than 800 people have had to seek medical attention since the blaze began last Wednesday. And the environmental lobby group Jamaica Environmental Trust, JET, says it is considering legal action against the government over the fire at the disposal site in St. Andrew. The fire forced the closure of schools and businesses and caused more than 800 persons to seek medical attention. JET is claiming that the failure of state agencies to properly regulate the dump and subsequent fires at the facility is a breach of the constitutional rights of Jamaicans to a safe environment. In the meantime, Crime Stop is offering a reward of $50,000 for information leading to the arrest of the person or persons responsible for setting fire to the dump. U.S. President Barack Obama is to visit Jamaica on April 9, and the president of the Jamaica Manufacturers Association, Brian Pengele, says he should be questioned on proposals to export marijuana to America for medical purposes. In the meantime, William Mafood, the president of the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica, says he wants the government to seek additional support from the U.S. government in relation to crime and security. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller announced in Parliament last week that the U.S. President will pay a state visit to the island on the eve of the Summit of the Americas to be held in Panama on April 10 and 11. Arthur Williams and Dr. Christopher Tufton are to know this week if they can continue to sit in the Senate. The Court of Appeal is expected to rule on Wednesday on the appeal brought by the leader of the opposition, Andrew Holness, who is seeking to have the decision of the Constitutional Court overturned. Last month, the court ruled that Holness breached the Constitution when he used pre-signed, undated resignation letters to remove Williams and Dr. Tufton from the Senate in November 2013. At that time, Mr. Williams said he felt vindicated.
The view of many lawyers and constitutional experts is that Christopher Tufton and I can walk into the Senate next Friday and take our seats, because we are never validly removed. I think that outside of the politics of the situation, we have to understand that it is a ruling by the Constitutional Court that is of fundamental importance to the structure of our Constitution. It is going to be a guide to all future opposition leaders, all future prime ministers, because it applies equally to them. Not only here in Jamaica, but in every country in the Commonwealth that has a similar political system. That is a lesson, it's a salutary lesson for all such persons.
An investigation has been launched into a police operation which left a 14-year-old schoolboy dead. Joel Lovelace was shot in the head during what the police say was a shootout with armed thugs in Augusttown, St. Andrew. Interim principal of Kingston High, Gregory King, says Joel was a promising student and the school community is devastated by the loss. The Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, has arrested and charged a second police officer in relation to the Lawrence Tavern shooting death of Garfield Coburn on March 6, 2015. Constable Dane Reed, who is attached to the Lawrence Tavern police station, was charged with giving a false statement to INDECOM, contrary to Section 33A of the INDECOM Act. He was arrested days after Police Constable Kevin Gordon was charged with murder in connection with the video-recorded shooting of Coburn, a resident of Mahoney District, Lawrence Tavern, St. Andrew. In court documents, Gordon claimed that Coburn was shot after he pulled a knife on a policeman, but residents and video footage have contradicted his claim.
Sir, come back. Sir, come back. Yeah, man. Done now, enough. Yeah, man. Oh, yo, if you do that. No, if you do that, my youth. Yo, go to the man and million guys, tell my youth. Yo, look at man, my youth. My youth.
And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. You may tune into Power 106 FM for regular updates. Follow us on Twitter at Jamaica Gleaner and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. I'm Carleen Brown, and as we go, more from Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller on the Riverton fire.
I had a long meeting with officials from a number of agencies dealing with Riverton, because it was very bad and affected a number of persons and disrupts schools and so on. So I had a long meeting at Jamaica House with the various agencies, Fire Brigade, ODPEM, Solid Waste. I had a long meeting with them. I really don't want to get into whether it is political thuggery or whether it was people who are trying to get funds or so. I would love for an investigation to be done to see why you would have, for that one, two areas at the same time, which means it would have, and it was not joined, from what I heard. So I think it should be investigated exactly what happened there. I would love if we could find out who lit the dump, if it was by anyone. It's not something that we intend to just leave like that. We have to check exactly what happened there. But we can't hold somebody responsible that were not on the dump for the fire on the dump, because it's not the first time it caught fire. But I've never heard anybody calling for the then persons who were in charge to assume responsibility for what happened at a place where you were not present.